Hi, Jesse here from Jesse Lee Woodworking. Today is another fantastic day because I'm finally making some really good progress here on insulating my barn. In fact, I've got this entire place insulated up about 16 feet onto my second floor of this huge cathedral ceiling. And now I'm ready to start putting on some of the sheetrock so that I can then move on to making my workbench and my workstation. But I really need to get this sheetrock on so that I can really just button up all of the insulation that's just been kind of hanging around. So today is a quick tutorial on how to do sheetrock by yourself. So first rule of thumb is sheetrock is generally quite heavy. So they make an ultralight version, so that is what I'm using. I'm using 1/2 inch ultralight 4x8 sheets of sheetrock. Now the good thing is that generally for 24-inch spans on this roof, they would recommend using 5/8 sheets of sheetrock. I am not doing that. It is so heavy and it's a real pain in the neck. I got to get it up my stairs. I've already huffed 20 sheets of this up myself, so I'm trying to do this the best way that I can, but also do it correctly. So the ultralight sheetrock that I actually have here does have a rigidity to it that claims up to 5/8, even 3/4. So I am really not losing much here in terms of going with the 1/2 inch versus a 3/4 inch or 5/8 sheet here, but I am able to still get the strength out of it that I need. And these are considerably lighter. I think each sheet runs about 40 to 45 pounds versus like a full sheet of 3/4, which is almost like 90 pounds, 75 pounds or something like that. It's higher than 70, I know that. Either way, I am making this the best way that I possibly can for myself to be able to do this and get it buttoned up the way that I need to. So then I have the secondary challenge, which is laying sheetrock on a 45-degree angle, which this 12-12 pitch roof really provides quite a challenge for doing that, because actually putting sheetrock up over your head is slightly easier than doing it on this angle, just because of the lack of leverage that you have to be able to actually push this up against the ceiling. So they also make sheetrock jacks, and I don't have one, and frankly I don't feel like spending the money to buy one. So I came up with a process that I think actually works quite well. I actually created a small ledger board here that I can screw into 2 of the stud bays right on top of the sheetrock that allows me to then take a piece of sheetrock, angle it in here, and snugly put it up right up against the lower piece of the sheetrock. And what it does is it helps me align that perfectly. Now on a full sheet going across the wall, the other part that I need to do is to snug this up next to the next sheet of plywood, because you really, or of sheetrock, because you really don't want to be going at it in different angles, because then you end up with a whole bunch of different cracks and gaps that you have to fill later. So I have just a nice piece of hard maple, and then I screw this onto the edge of the end of the sheet of sheetrock that I'm butting up against. And that gives me a firm seated position for the sheetrock to slide in, a seated position for the sheetrock to slide in here, and then that way it actually helps me align it and hold it in place while I throw a couple of screws into place to hold it in before I want to screw off the whole thing. Now I've done 2 rows here so far. I'm staggering the joints. It's a good idea to make sure that you do that. this sheetrock up, and I mean, again, most of what I'm doing here is probably not something I'd recommend for anybody. It's not really the easiest thing, but it can be done. I struggled with this very last piece here because my wall that I put all this plywood on is slightly off, and well, it caught that piece. So that little corner there, don't worry about that little corner. I'll fill it in with some tape and some mud, but I'm pretty stoked. I mean, I have about, so there's 3 rows, there's 5 basically full panels on each wall. So it's 15. I have about a half of a panel, maybe a third of a panel up on the top to get up to the very top of this first level. I'm gonna leave that for right now. But what I am gonna do is a majority of what I used just to tack up the boards or the sheetrock while I was doing that was just with a regular drill. And again, you really have to have a lot of control because you don't want to be popping through the paper. It's not going to have any strength or hold anything up on the ceiling. So right now I have about top, middle, and bottom for all of these panels. I'm going to go ahead and fill this in really well. I actually have an 1 5/8" screws, and these are the coarse thread screws, sheetrock screws. So these will have a really nice grip, and they will actually really hold this in place in perpetuity, hopefully. So I've already kind of generally given myself some guidance. As much as I've done this before in the past, it's amazing how many times I can miss a 2.5-inch beam on a short 4-foot span. So I gave myself some guidance here. I have a drywall screw gun, and I'm gonna just go ahead and fire this off. This should only take me about 10 minutes. But once I get all this in, I'll have about 5 screws in each rafter for each 4-foot section. And then on the seams, I usually put about 7 or 8 screws, depending on what happens and how it looks. So let's go ahead and get that going and finish off the side. All right, so here's just a quick line down the whole barn here. And if you can look, I mean, there is no sag along this wall, which is just fantastic. It means exactly that I have the right material on this wall. And I mean, this is starting to look like a real building. Okay, so basically you've seen how I've laid out about 90% of the sheetrock. You don't need to see it to the complete end. In total, I'm laying out here about 50 sheets of sheetrock. It is a lot of work. Okay, so if you're trying to do this solo, I basically showed you how to do it. I spread it out over a little bit of time, but man, once you get that process worked out with the ledger board and the edge to slide it up into place, I mean, I really worked through this entire sidewall here in about less than 2 hours. So I do have some pieces left up here, but it's basically because I ran out of the sheetrock. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this part off. Okay, so I'm checking in and I am capping off this part of the series, which essentially was buttoning up this part of the cathedral ceiling for my wood shop to get me on to the next stage. Just as a quick recap, I have now at this point completely rewired my entire barn. That was not part of the plan, but that's where I've come from. Downstairs, I completely redone my tack room. I've done all new framing, new insulation, and basically started from the ground up, literally enclosing this place so that it is nice and warm and enclosed, and it's ready for a brand new space, which is freaking awesome. I mean, it's been about 2.5 months. Outside right now is about 20 degrees, and inside here it is 40 degrees easily, and I haven't even added heat. So once you put that sheetrock up, boy, it really does quite a difference. And there's a reason behind it. It has a lot of thermal capacity behind it, especially when you do your roof correctly. So now I'm up to my layer of the first floor. Everything is above my head now. I'm ready to move on to the next stage. The next stage is actually heat. So back here, between these two windows right here, I'm going to be putting in not a brand new, but a wood stove. A stove that I can completely just deck out, feed for my entire life. I have a ton of trees around this property. A wood stove is absolutely perfect for this space. So the next part of the series is going to be, how am I going to put heat into this place? And if you want to learn, you want to know a whole new trade, trust me, this part's going to be exciting, because not only do I have to get a 500-pound stove up these stairs, which is a process in itself, I also have to do some new tiling. I have to put up a heat shield. I have to cut through my roof, and I have to hang a chimney stack. So if you want to see how I get this done, keep following along. Thank you very much for keeping an eye on this project. It is freaking wild. I am so excited, because once I get heat in here, I can flip this whole thing around, start building my workbench, and all the bits and bobs that I've been really dreaming about for this woodshop space in this area. It is going to be freaking awesome. So send your comments, let me know what you think, but the next time I check in, we'll be now moving on to this wood stove, and that is going to be the next part of this process. So thanks for checking in. Smash that like button and follow along. Thank you.